and you thought that the black guy punched Miu, correct?
Yes.
Those were the memories that you shared with the police in August, correct?
Sure, yes.
Fair to say that all those memories are wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I would...
Yes, you agree that those memories are wrong?
I would say... No, I wouldn't say that the second one is wrong, because like I said, I gave credit to both, the possibility of me hitting him or pushing him and the possibility of me not touching him at all.
Well, let's pull that one out, and let me just talk about the other two. So you agree the memory that you told the police that you had of Mr. Miu pulling Madison from behind by the hair and punching her with the left hand, that's wrong?
I mean, I guess I can't say yes or no, because it doesn't really show that in the video, and I mean, my memory about that hasn't changed, so...
Okay, that's still how you remember it?
That's how I remember it, yes.
Okay. And the memory about the black guy punching Mr. Miu, that's still how you remember it?
No, not... I mean, I don't know exactly what I saw. I saw him close to him, and it could have been his arm that hit him, but I really didn't know what I saw at that point, so...
Okay. All right. I want to go through a portion of what I think is on the video to just ask if that is what you remember happening, okay?
Okay.
Because as I think you told the police during your interview, you said to the police, I wanted to get the guy away from us, but I wasn't going to try and like punch him. I'm not a fighter. I'm tiny. That's what you told the police, right?
Yeah, I was the biggest I'd ever been in my life, and I was still not a super big guy. He had 80 pounds on me.
I understand. I'm just trying to, again, the words that you said to the police were, I'm not a fighter.
Yes.
All right. We saw in the slides there that at some point Mr. Miu goes down into the water from Mr. Dante Carlson punching him, right?
Yes.
And just to put it into context. And then we see in the slides your leg, you kind of approach and stand over him, correct?
I wouldn't say over him. I would say I'm to the side of him, and then he starts moving, and
Okay.
my body position plus where he moved himself would make it appear that way.
Sure. He's on the ground, correct?
Yep.
In the water, correct?
Yes.
You're standing on 2 feet, correct?
Yes.
You weren't leaning over him, but it might appear that way if somebody is down in the water looking up, correct?
It could, yeah.
And when that happens, you don't push your friend Dante away, do you?
I didn't even know that Dante was there at the moment. I didn't see the second hit or slap or the third one. I had wet hair. My hair was hanging down. I was looking down. I wasn't focused on other people. I was focused on getting this man away from everyone else.
So this man...
Nicolae Miu.
Yeah, this man, at that point, you knew he had been punched and knocked to the ground and he's in the water, correct?
Yep.
And you're telling the jury that what you were trying to do is you were trying to get him away from other people while he's down in the ground in the water.
Get people away in some way, shape, or form. It didn't need to be him. I wanted him to stay down so he couldn't go and punch another person. And then I was going to tell everyone there to back away because, you know.
So there's a lot to unpack there again. As you said, you wanted to get other people away, but you didn't go to the other people. You went to Mr. Miu, correct?
Yeah, I went to the guy who was punching people first.
Correct. Again, based upon your memory that he pulled someone's hair and punched them from behind, correct?
Based on the memory that I know that he punched someone, yes,
Okay.
It doesn't matter how he punched them. I know he punched them, and he shouldn't have.
Okay. And you were going to make him pay for that?
No.
So when he's down in the water on the ground and you're standing there trying to be the peacemaker because you're not a fighter, you thought it was going to be peaceful to you to keep him down in the water?
I mean, it was shallow water. His head wasn't below. All we needed was an extra second to get people to move away from him, and then he could get up and we could possibly have a conversation, but, I mean, he hadn't used any words up until that point, so probably not.
So when you're standing there next to him when he's on the water, you don't see your friend Dante come up and smack him across the face a second time? You don't see that?
I saw him get dropped into the water, and I was looking down at him. My hair was over my eyes here. I mean, it was shorter than it is now, but you can imagine.
So you didn't see him go back into the water the second time in response to Dante hitting him?
Didn't,
You didn't see that?
he went down into the water, and then he never got up.
Sure, because Dante
Until
hit him when
he-
he was in the water, correct?
Okay, but you said the second time he was in the water. That's the first time still. The second time came after he stabbed me.
Okay, understood. His first time was in the water was extended for a longer period of time because Dante smacked him when he was already down in the water.
Sure, yes.
And you were saying you were standing right there, but you didn't observe that.
No, like I said, my hair was in the way, and I wasn't really focused on Dante. I didn't know where Dante was. I was focused on the man who was
In the
hitting
water.
people. Who was hitting people, not...
At that point, the man that was hitting people was Dante Carlson, right?
Sorry, I will rephrase. The man who started the physical altercation.
Okay. That's what essentially your opinion is, correct?
I mean, I would say that the first person to throw a punch would be the first person to be aggressive, regardless of if there are other people slightly touching his shoulder. I mean, even you were talking about the consent to touch thing, and he touched other people without their consent too. So, I mean, if you want to go that way, we can, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
I'm not trying to go anyway, sir. I'm just trying to gather the facts. So the person that's punching Mr. Miu, you don't see that, correct?
I saw Mr. Miu fall into the water, and I didn't see anything after that in terms of him getting hit.
When you saw him fall in the water, you went up to him from behind.
No.
I apologize, but I'm going to need to show some slides.
I mean, I can explain what I did.
It's good. I'm going to just go through some slides. Please show my screen, please. Showing you what's 2705. That's Mr. Miu in the water, correct?
Yes.
That's Dante Carlson swinging to hit him, correct?
And my leg in the bottom.
That's your leg in the bottom, correct?
Yep.
You're moving towards Mr. Miu, agreed?
Yes. Moving at him from what would be his front left side.
And then eventually you come to be behind him, correct?
When I would still say I'm at the midpoint of his body, he just sat up. That wouldn't necessarily constitute being behind someone. I mean, yes, I was, I guess, technically, but he wasn't there when I walked there. He moved himself to have me behind him.
You moved yourself, correct?
No, he moved. I moved over. I walked over there, yes, but I was standing right at about his hips, and then he sat up.
So is it your testimony that in some way Mr. Miu was aware of your presence and intentionally turned to have you behind him? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying he did it intentionally. I'm just saying that that's what happened.
Okay. So again, you're behind him, correct?
Sort of on his side. Until he
This
starts.
is you with your left hand on his back shoulder
Yeah,
and his
but-
right hand on his back shoulder. You're behind him, correct?
Yeah, I have both hands on one shoulder. I'm not completely behind him. You can see I'm somewhat on the side. But yes, I am somewhat behind him due to his repositioning.
You're pushing him, correct?
Yeah, that's where I had said that I thought I'd push him in the front left shoulder to keep him down, but I was there too late, so I didn't get that shoulder. I guess I got the back of it, and
You said you're a peacemaker, right? You like to mediate?
yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
you could understand how somebody who'd been down in the water and hit 2 times, getting pushed from behind, may not understand that you're trying to mediate. Goes to his mindset.
Overruled. You can answer the question if you're able to.
Sorry, what was the question?
Sure. As somebody who likes to mediate and was attempting to mediate, you can understand how a person in Mr. Miu's position who'd been hit twice in the water might not understand or appreciate your intent to try to de-escalate by pushing him in the behind.
I
Might
guess.
misunderstand that, right?
He could misunderstand that. but,
Sure.
I mean, could have been solved if he tried to use words at all, too.
Could have. And let me just go from 2745 to 2747. Do you see that? That's you still, that's your body behind him, correct?
Yes.
That's your right hand on the right side of his back, correct?
Yeah.
That's your left hand on the left side of his back, correct?
I'd say right's more in the middle, but the left one is definitely on his left shoulder.
And that's your roommate's brother, who is your friend Dante Carlson. That's his hand that we can see underneath your underarm there that's hitting Mr. Miu, correct?
Like I said, I didn't see it, but the video showed it, so, I mean,
So your face,
based off of memory, I can't say yes.
okay, your face is right there, and you're saying you didn't see Dante hit Mr. Miu there.
No, like I explained, my hair was down in front of my eyes. It's wet. My hair's thick and black, so it's not super easy to see through.
What you did say is Mr. Miu wasn't saying anything. You could agree that in this position, with somebody pushing him from behind and somebody hitting him in the front, it might be a difficult time to use your words to make peace.
Yeah, the right time to use your words would have been before he punched a woman in the face.
We can get to that later. You extend your body in an attempt to push him down, as you say, correct?
Well, I was pushing down, and then he got up, and I fell forward, so.
I was asking about your intent. Your intent was to push him down in the water, agreed?
It was to push his shoulder down so that he stayed down, and I could tell everyone to back up, yes.
So you agree, your intent was to push him down and keep him in the water.
To keep him down, if the ground was there, I would have done the same thing. I wasn't worried about there being water or not. It was shallow, his head wasn't going below. He was gonna be okay.
You could understand how perhaps somebody in the position getting pushed from behind in the water might not appreciate that you were trying to protect him and keep him okay, right?
I
Is
guess.
his head appear to be getting wet there?
Not his face. That's where your mouth is. I see maybe the right cheek dip in a little bit, but as soon as go a few slides further and you'll see his head sitting back up again.
Sure. Safe as can be, right?
I don't know.
It is. Yeah, please, let's focus on the facts.
Okay.
Clean Q&A, please.
Just back up a little bit more here. When you said his head didn't go in the water. Fair to say that's his head making a wave, correct?
I would say that's his back making a wave and his
Okay.
head still not in the water.
Have you ever fallen back after getting laid out in the water like that?
Yeah, I have.
Did it feel like maybe the water was coming up on you even if it technically didn't?
No, I mean, water usually has a pretty distinct feeling on your skin. I mean,
And when you had that experience where you got laid out and fell back into the water, did someone come up and attack you a second time in that situation?
Sustained.
So I'm going to go forward back to the position where we were before. I apologize. So again, you'd said here at 2754, you're attempting to keep him down and he manages to move away from you, the person who's pushing him somewhere in the back area, right? Yes?
yes. I was trying to push him in the front left shoulder and I got the back left shoulder
Sure.
because he was getting up and I was not fast enough to get the front left shoulder.
And I'm going to go through some other photos here that Might be difficult. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
In this position now, that's you in the yellow shorts, correct?
Correct.
And to your right is Dante Carlson, correct?
I believe so. I don't know. I don't remember seeing anyone else there. I remember pushing down and feeling strange.
Sure. Is this person, you knew what Dante looks like, correct?
Yes.
Is that Dante in the two-tone gray shorts with the Truly in his hand?
I believe so, yeah.
And then that's the same person that's legs are right there, correct?
Correct.
So you and Dante are standing very near Mr. Miu as he's beginning to try to get up out of the water, correct?
Correct.
And as he begins to get up out of the water, you move towards him, correct?
Yeah.
You didn't know that he had a knife, correct?
No.
You were going at him, correct?
I don't know. I don't remember anything after
You're,
the first push.
this is where you're trying to, you push him down again, correct?
I would say we kind of attacked each other at that one, if anything, but I mean,
Okay.
I don't remember this, so I can't
Okay.
tell you.
But you're,
I didn't, he got me before I did anything to him, so,
this is your hands on him, agreed?
okay, maybe my hand is on his arm, yeah.
This is you, as you said, attacking him, correct?
I didn't mean attacking, sorry.
Those are the words that you used to the jury, is
I mean,
you were attacking him.
I wasn't attacking him.
Okay. You were trying to push him down in the water.
I was trying to separate, or get him isolated so that we could separate everyone else from him. So we could get everyone away, and then we could figure out what was actually going on. Because you hear teenagers asking for help, you hear people yelling that he's a whatever, and I mean, at that point, and you see minors, you're gonna be more worried about getting him away from them before you ask the questions.
And you chose to do that by using your hands on his body to push him, correct? Yes?
I tried to keep him down with my arms, yes, and then I was going to tell everyone to back up and give him some space.
So as you said, you're not a fighter, correct?
Yes.
You were trying to mediate, correct? All right.
Mr. State, we've been through this before. Let's move on to a new topic, please.
You'd heard that people calling him a predator, correct?
I don't know what I heard. I heard them saying stuff about a little girl, and I don't know what else it was. I don't know. I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know if there was a girl in that group. I wasn't worried about whether or not there was. I was worried about getting the person that they were calling a pedophile or a raper away from the minors. You can
You
have a
agree-
conversation about that later.
You agree that even though you're not, as you say, you're not a fighter, you pushed a man from behind while your friend was smacking him in the front. Agreed?
I would.
Hold on. Sustained. We've been through this before, many times. Please.
You
move
have
to
an
a-
ex-
Please, I am speaking.
I'm sorry.
Please move to a new topic.
I apologize, Judge. I thought you were done. Do you have any explanation as to why you pushed him while your friend was hitting him if you're not a fighter?
Objection, Judge, I think.
I already answered
No,
this.
please,
Same
please.
topic. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
Was it because you got caught up with the crowd?
It was because I couldn't see the person in front of me because my hair was blocking my vision, and I was focused on the man who had just punched a 23-year-old or 22-year-old girl in the face.
That's all.
Mr. Anderson?
Nothing else.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. You may step down.